subscribe button below and the bell button next to it so that you do not miss out any of my videos and stay updated with my channel, and it is absolutely free. Hi friends, welcome to BeautyInfinite. So even though I'm not wearing a nude makeup today, but still I'm gonna go ahead and do a video on nude products. Yes, few days back I've already posted a video on my top favorite 17 eyeshadow palettes within a price of rupees 500. So I thought, why not do a second part of eyeshadow palettes, because yes, eyeshadows comes in various textures, shades and ranges. So doing separate videos on each of those type I felt will be helpful for a lot of you. So today's video is going to deal with my top favorite nude eyeshadow palettes from the Indian market. These are some of the best drugstore nude eyeshadow palettes, and yes, all of them are really good in terms of pigmentation. The price of this palettes starts from rupees 300 and ends up until rupees 1900 max. Yes, so there are product within all sort of ranges depending upon your budget and your requirement. So without me rambling any further, if you want to know what are the top must-have nude eyeshadow palette from the Indian market are, then please keep on watching. Very first palette I'm gonna start off is of course with Maybelline, because when we are talking about nude eyeshadow palettes, the Maybelline Nudes palettes should never be forgotten. Yes, I have different sort of nude palettes starting from the Rocker Nude, then the 24 karat nude. My personal favorite will be the Nudes, the original one, and the blushed nudes palette. I will start off first with the original nude palette. This is a one of a kind nude palette, and if you have this palette in your vanity, you really do not need any other nude eyeshadow palettes whatsoever, because this palette has a really good combination of gold, warm tone, champagne, brown, ash and black. So yes, it makes this palette a really wearable one starting from day to night look. Plus the colors are buildable, so yes, they are user friendly for someone who is a beginner. And yes, it is definitely also a multi-purpose palette which you can use not only for your eyes but also in terms of contouring your face, and yes, for your brows and also for highlighting. So definitely a must-have nude palette. So if you are someone who haven't tried out this palette yet and is searching for the best nude at an affordable rate, I think you should definitely go for this one, because this is a masterpiece which is gonna help you in many ways, so you will never regret your investment. Now the second one, which is the blushed nude palettes, is more of a nude which has pink, brown and ashy tones color. Now this nude palette mostly consists of colors which are in pink, champagne tone, and also few colors in matte, brown, ashy and a bit of a purpley pinky tone. I think this is a really pretty nude palette for someone who look for more of colors in the pinky side rather than in the more on the brownie or earthy side. Yes, so you can definitely go for this one. Then the pigmentation of the blush nude palettes, I personally feel, is a bit more compared to the pigmentation of the original nude palette, but yes, both of them work really well. It just depends what sort of color you are looking for, and yes, definitely a really pretty palette indeed. But if you personally ask me, I will definitely suggest you to go for this one, the original one, because I feel the original one is more versatile and it will definitely help you in multi-purpose way compared to the blush nude, which you can only use either in terms of a blush or in terms of an eyeshadow or max to max in terms of an highlighter. Then I have two options for you guys, one in the slightly shimmery and satiny and matte mix, and another one in complete matte. The reason I'm giving you this two sort of a finishes, because a lot of you guys have requested me in Instagram that I should suggest more palette which has combination for both matte and shimmery. So that is why I'm giving you this sort of a choices. First one is the Makeup Revolution Redemption Palette Essential Matte. Yes, I think this is a really amazing nudes palette you can opt in for, a perfect matte palette which can work beautifully for you in multi-purpose way. It is not exactly similar to the Maybelline Nudes, because the Maybelline Nudes have have some shimmery colors and colors like gold into them, but the Redemption Matte really do not have those sort of a color. This is a complete nude matte palette which has more of mauvish, black, brown, beige, cream, light yellow or ash or grey shades. Yes, very neutral and monotone shades which are perfect for creating day-to-day really soft subtle look or really matte look. I think if you're someone who is looking for eyeshadows which will give you not a very overpowering effect but something which is really nice and wearable during daytime, you can go for this palette. But the colors are really pigmented and creamy, but yes, there is a bit chalkiness in some of the lighter shades. I felt not all but some of the lighter shades, but the pigmentation is definitely really good, which I loved. You can definitely build it up to a really beautiful pigmentation. Second one will be the Makeup Revolution Redemption palette in Iconic 3. Now this is an exact dupe for the Naked 3 palette, guys. If you are someone who do not like to go for a replica, you cannot invest on a original Naked 3 palette, then you can definitely invest on this one. This is an exact or very close dupe of the Naked 3's palette, especially in terms of the color combination. Now it has a such beautiful combination of both matte and shimmery colors. It has like beautiful pink, brown, pastel and then a beautiful purpley blacky sort of a color which Naked 3 palette has. Then also colors like matte brown, beige and yeah, a bit in a copperish tone. A very universal palette which you can use for day to night both. It could work as a daytime nude palette, and at the night time if you want a bit more of a shine, you can go for the shimmery shades. A really versatile palette. Again, I feel this palette could be also used multi-purpose because yes, the champagne and light pinks could be used for highlighting, the pastel colors could be used as a blush, and yes, the browns could be perfectly used for your eyebrows and contouring. So what not to love? I think this is a really beautiful palette, and yes, the colors are more creamy and soft compared to the Redemption Matte because this is complete matte, this is not complete matte. Now the next nude palette I wanted to talk about is the Sivanna Brown Nude Palette. You guys have already seen this palette in my top 17 eyeshadow palette, but yes, I had to include it in this one as well because yes, it is a nude palette and it is priced at only rupees 300. So it is one of the most affordable nude palette you can try out. It is in the shade brown, of course. There is another shades in smoky and natural which is also in the nude side, and the pink one is most in the pinker side like the blush nudes. So I like the brown one, and as you guys already know, this is such a pretty palette with a combination of matte and shimmery shade. Now the next nude palette I wanted to talk about is the MENOW Makeup Academy Professional Winter Forest Matte Collection. This is such a pretty nude, and I like this palette more because it has combination for both nude and few bright colors, which is something I really love. It is a complete matte palette, and yes, the colors are not extremely chalky. They are soft. Few colors are a bit powdery but not chalky. They glide smoothly, and yes, definitely they have a good pigmentation. The lighter colors might need to be built up a bit more, but the deeper colors like this deep green or this indigo are damn pigmented. Especially this deep brown is so beautiful. Again, it's a multi-purpose palette, so you can use the brown shades for contouring and your brows, and yes, it is a really pretty palette. Next nude palette is again something which I had included in my top 17 eyeshadows within 500, and that will be the MENOW Eyes Makeup Palette. If you want something which is a beautiful combination of shimmer and matte and soft nude and pink and gold tones, you should perfectly go for this palette and go for the shade B because the shade B has more pastel brown gold looks, and it also makes the palette more usable in terms of using it both day and night and in special occasion. Already done a one brand tutorial on MENOW product using this palette as well, so I will link the video in the description box. If you want, you can check it out. Shade B for this palette is also a really close subsidiary for the Maybelline Nudes original palette. Yes, if you do not want to invest 800 rupees on the nudes from Maybelline, you can go for this one because it has really similar sort of a shade. Next nude palette I wanted to talk about is the L'Oreal Paris La Palette Nude in the shade Rose. Now first of all, before starting off with the palette, I feel that the palette is a bit overpriced because yes, like all L'Oreal product, their palette is also a bit overpriced. I feel the optimum price of the palette should have been within 800 rupees, not more than that. But yes, anyhow, the price of the palette is around 1400 rupees. But if you are trying to opt in this, try to go for online, because online you might get better discount and you can opt in this within like 1200 or 1300 rather than a store. So the shade I'm sharing is in the shade Rose, and I feel it is a really versatile and beautiful nude palette you can have, and of course a multi-purpose palette for day-to-day basis with a buildable capacity and beautiful soft neutral colors from pink, brown to beautiful burgundy tones. Then you can go for this rose one because you are gonna love it and you are not gonna regret it. Now the next product I'm going to talk about is a slightly on the higher end because it's a high-end drugstore product. It is from the brand Makeup Revolution, and I'm talking about the Makeup Revolution Fortune Favor the Brave palette. Again, I've done a full review, swatch and a tutorial using this palette on my channel. I will link it in the description box. If you want, you can check it out. Now, even though this is not a complete nude colors, but I think I would suggest this palette among the nude palette because it could work as a neutral palette as well. Even though it has some brighter shades like blue, green, purple tones, but it has also really soft nude shades like brown, beige. The most unique part of this palette is the colors are not only soft, pigmented and buildable, plus also they have like 3 to 4 different sort of texture in one palette. So you can have like matte to shimmery and frosty to metallic shades in one single palette. So you can work with various sort of look and play around with the colors using just one eyeshadow. So that is something which is really amazing and worth to invest upon. Now the next palette I wanted to talk about is of course my Romantic Beauty Naked 3 palette. How can I miss it when I'm talking about nude palette? This is such a beautiful palette and of course a replica of the original Naked 3 palette. Even though the color combinations are not exactly same, if you want to go for similarity in color combination, I would suggest you to go for the Makeup Revolution palette in Redemption Iconic 3 because the colors are more similar with Naked 3. It's a perfect day to night palette. The colors are really soft and buildable, so you need to build them up. They are not extremely and overpoweringly pigmented but give you a very beautiful flushed finish which you're gonna absolutely love when you work with them. Again, I've done a full tutorial using this palette, so if you like, you can definitely check it out. For me, I really like this palette. The price of this palette is around 500 rupees, not more than that. I bought it from New Market. Yes, if you are outside of Kolkata, you can search in local market. I'm sure you can grab this one. And yeah, this is a really nice palette. Just keep one thing in mind, guys. There are a lot of palette which looks exactly like Naked 3 but they will say Urban Decay out here. If you see that it is written Urban Decay out here, that means that it is a fake, not a dupe. But if you see the one which is written as Romantic Beauty, then this is a palette which I'm talking about. So that is pretty much my video on my top favorite must-have nude palettes in the Indian market, and I hope you guys must have got a option of nude palette from this lot within your budget. Yes, and I hope the video is helpful. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel. Yes, I will see you guys soon. Until next time, take care. Bye.